Is there anything else that we got to be, not mention reference to the speaker, but anything else that...
I don't know. I know the speaker has a lot of respect for you, so I think it's just in the best interest of trying to get this done. Just not mentioning his name is probably the best.
Okay.
My dad died in office. I took his place in 1972.
Wow.
And I...
State rep?
State rep.
State rep.
And I was the number 2 man in the caucus, so the speaker was number 1, and I was number 2. And we became real good friends. And then after I left office, then I went back to lobby, and we continued that friendship. So it's, you know, I know all of his kids. You know, we go to concerts together and stuff like that. So I mean, it's.
You're a big Notre Dame fan, Sox fan?
Well,
too?
I enjoy it, but I'm more of a Cardinal fan than a Sox fan. But he, you don't want to watch a Notre Dame game with him.
You know, I've heard of it, but his fanaticism,
he goes crazy. I mean, he's yelling and screaming all the time. So you don't want to go. You don't want to sit in the room, in the living room with him and watch a Notre Dame game. Gets pretty passionate about it.
Okay.
So, but that's why I think Nancy's probably the better one. But I'd like to hear these gentlemen talk first.
Okay. Okay.
You would like Nancy because she's a no-nonsense.
I've heard of her. I've heard of her.
The good thing about her, I use her a lot. The good thing about her is she chooses her time. She knows when to make the ask. She's always in the office, so she knows if there's a lot of tension in the office. Well, that's not the good time to ask, right? So she's just a very shrewd person. You would like her.
So she has. Obviously, she has relationship both with the governor and with Mike.
Yes.
Yeah,
me.
That's always good.
Through me. So, and we try to keep it confidential, because if Rounder ever found out that Nancy was close to Mike through me, he would cut her off, because he's obsessed with Mike.
Is there anything you want me not to say in this meeting?
Well, probably the less said about the speaker, the better.
Okay. Okay.
Because you just never know if they accidentally say the speaker's name, like we're talking to the speaker's friend or something like that, and that gets it'll get shut down.
Okay, good point. Is there anything the speaker would want me to do aside from not talking about the governor, or in terms of the state rep or the state senator?
Why don't we take this a step at a time? And because sooner or later, I would think that you'll want to generate some, maybe not public press, but at least people community-wise being in favor of this.
Oh yeah, yeah.
But we probably ought to. What I usually do, Alderman, is I go to Nancy. Nancy fills them out, and then Nancy comes back and says, Mike, if the community would do this A, B, and C, then I think the governor would be inclined to do it. And then I'll come back to you, and you'll say, well, we could do A and B, but we can't do C.
Okay, so that should be coming. Is there anything else that we got to be, not mention reference to the speaker, but anything else that...
I don't know. I know the speaker has a lot of respect for you, so I think it's just in the best interest of trying to get this done. Just not mentioning his name is probably the best.
Okay.
Relative, some sort. Yeah, from the same village in China.
Oh, good.
Yeah.
I'm Mike McClain. I'm retired now, but I'm a lawyer, legislator, lobbyist, and I still have some good contacts.
If you could talk about them.
Sure. The one person, her name is Nancy Kimme, Kimme. She is. She used to be chief of staff when Judy Bar Topinka was comptroller. They were best of friends, and when Bruce Rounder got elected, he didn't know who to hire. So they brought her into the transition, and she basically, as I told you, Ray, she basically hired all the deputy directors of all the departments, the general counsels, the public relations, people in every department. I mean, she's got terrific contacts. So she's done a lot of work for me with like people like you that have come and they want to figure out a way how to get through this maze of in the governor's office. And I think I can't think of one time when she wasn't successful. And some of them are. Some of the requests are kind of really difficult. So Ray, what I'd like to do is have her first feel around and kind of do some reconnaissance to find out what's going on inside the governor's office on this land, and if anybody's made contacts. And then what she usually does is she says, Mike, I think I can be helpful, or this is shut down, maybe you ought to wait a month or so. So if you guys give me the nod, I think what I'll do is I'll have her first do some reconnaissance.
Yeah, put some feelers out and just see
Yeah.
see if there's anybody hiding in the weed. Okay.
Right.
That kind of stuff.
And then if she says, I think I can be helpful, well then she ought to meet with all of you, and then you can reach your own accord on what kind of contract it would be with her.
No. I don't think there's any other individual hiding in the weeds, because when it comes to the city, they're still going to need a zoning change.
Right.
So that's,
Right.
okay?
That's why I'm saying that was really just in case.
Yeah.
Something is sitting out.
So even if the governor has some thought to try to sell the property directly to someone, it still has to go through the legislature. So, I mean, because the governor doesn't have authority to sell property without the legislature authorizing it, so.
But selling it to the city is different, right?
Well, it's an intergovernmental. My understanding is that you could have an intergovernmental agreement, so,
Yeah.
so.